You look around the nation, we're not the first ones that this have happened to.
Louisiana, Texas, and now central Iowa. A tragedy unfolded this morning, leaving officers no time to defend themselves. The Metro department's hit by it.
Memorials are growing at each of those departments tonight. Hear from the colleagues who knew the fallen officers best and from strangers who cared enough to show up.
Plus, the man suspected of pulling the trigger is in custody. What may have led him to commit the crime and why his friends say they can't believe the news.
From WHO HD, the local news leader. This is Channel 13 News at 6.
Des Moines is a safe city. I mean, we've had some instances where we've had some spikes in crime. We've had some high-profile things happen. Overall, this is a very, very safe community. You know, I raised my family here. I'm sure most of the people in this room raise their families here, and none of us are getting up and moving. We got through this investigation fast because this is what we do, and we do it well.
It is a display of perseverance from police as they cope with a loss the Metro is all too familiar with. Good evening, I'm Erin Kiernan.
I'm Dan Winters. Thank you for being with us tonight. Police call it a cowardly ambush.
In the dead of night, 2 Metro officers were killed in cold blood. Officer Justin Martin was a fresh face in Urbandale. Sergeant Tony Beminio had been serving Des Moines for more than a decade. As their brothers and sisters in blue come to terms with all of this, they're left with the task of figuring out why this man allegedly pulled the trigger. Scott Green was arrested late this morning. We're bringing you team coverage of this tragedy, including more on the fallen officers and how the community is honoring them. But first, we go to Sonia Heithusen for an update on the investigation.
Erin, we may never know the motive behind this morning's senseless and barbaric shootings, but we do know more about Scott Green, the man police believe is responsible for them.
The shootings are described as ambushes. Urbandale police officer Justin Martin was the first to be hit, followed by Des Moines Police Sergeant Tony Beminio. Investigators say the gunman opened fire from the side of the squad cars, riddling them with dozens of bullets. Police say the officers didn't have a chance.
What we can tell by looking at the scene is that it doesn't appear that either officer had an opportunity to interact with the suspect. It doesn't look like there was an exchange of conversation. It doesn't look like there was an opportunity, there definitely wasn't an opportunity for these officers to defend themselves or respond to the attack. Both officers were seated in their cars and were shot while they were sitting.
Scott Green lived with his mother at a home on 70th Street in Urbandale. Urbandale police say they've had several run-ins with him, including an incident at an Urbandale High School football game last month.
Yes, there's been some issues with the Urbandale school system lately, and we've issued trespass warnings to Mr. Green, and the school system is in the process of working out what those would be, being he also had a daughter who was a student in the school.
Have I committed a crime?
You're on private property, you're on school property, we're asking you to leave at this time.
Green is believed to have shot this video and posted it to YouTube. In it, police ask him to leave the property after receiving complaints that he'd been waving a Confederate flag in the football stands. Urbandale police say they also responded to several incidents at the home where Green lived. Court documents show Green's mother wanted to evict him. During a hearing less than 24 hours prior to the shootings, Patricia Green asked and received for a no-contact order against her son. She also claimed he was exploiting her financially and mentally and emotionally abusing her. Police took Green into custody about 8 hours after the shooting. They say he was wandering along a Dallas County road and turned himself in to a Department of Natural Resources employee.
He flagged down an employee of the DNR, presented his ID to that employee, and asked that employee call 911.
A gun was not found on Green, but officers and explosives detection dogs did find a gun in the area where Green was taken into custody. That gun will now be examined to determine if it fired the bullets that killed 2 officers.
As far as we know, Green is still in the hospital. As soon as he's released, he'll be taken to the Des Moines Police Department for questioning. Police say there won't be another update on the investigation until tomorrow morning. Tonight, they're focusing on the officers' families, providing them support, and eventually they'll be helping them plan funeral services. And of course, our condolences to those families as well.
Absolutely. We do share that. Thank you, Sonia, for your reporting today. This news, as you know, it has sent shockwaves through both of these police departments.
Both men were beloved and represented a combined 12 years of service in the Metro. We go now to Channel 13's Janae Town in Des Moines with a show of just how much Sergeant Beminio will be missed.
You're right, Aaron. This memorial outside the Des Moines Police Station is one way the community is showing it doesn't just stand with police, but it's mourning with police. You see all of those flowers, some handwritten notes, and balloons in memory of a dedicated officer, a family man, and a good friend. Those who worked alongside Sergeant Tony Bamino are full of emotion tonight.
That really stuck out to me as what a man of character and integrity he was. And a great model for our students. And he would walk the halls, and kids would come up to him and shake his hand, and they had a great deal of respect for him as a human being and for what he stood for.
While working as an SRO at Roosevelt, Bamino's door was always open. School officials say that genuine and caring nature made him so well liked by both students and staff. In fact, they say he became part of the Roosevelt family. And tonight they are feeling the loss of his tragic and violent death. Now, before joining the Des Moines Police Department, Bamino walked the beat in Indianola. He worked there for about 4 years. His fellow officers from back in the day are remembering their dedicated patrolman who became a fun-loving friend.
Tony was the life of the party. He was quick to pull a prank and to joke around with officers, and we reciprocated, and he always took it really well too.
So as always, even in the saddest of times, there are a lot of tears, but also a few smiles and laughter. Tonight, certainly a lot of emotion as two communities are dealing with the loss of two men who work to protect our streets. We want to go to Channel 13's Reed Chandler, who's over in Urbandale, with more on how that community is remembering their fallen officer.
Well, behind me, you can really get an idea of just how tight-knit of a community it is here in Urbandale. Hundreds of flowers, cards, and crafts meant to honor fallen officer Justin Martin laid here on this Urbandale Police squad car. We've been here since this morning. There's been a steady trickle of people coming to pay their respects all day. This car had just a small pile by the noon hour, and that's when crowds began to snowball. We've seen this memorial more than quadruple in its size since then. People from all over, not just Urbandale. Some knew Martin, whether it be from Simpson College, where he graduated in May of 2015, or from this job, which he only started in January. But many don't know him at all, and they just know someone who's on this police force, and hearing this news made them feel like coming out here today to let the entire department know they're not alone.
We've been a part of the police community for a long time. My father is a detective here and was an officer for a long time, K-9 before that. I mean, I was at home when he got the call to go respond, and so he's been doing that, and it's awful. I mean, we just came to show our love and support. We're very close with a majority of these officers, people that work here, ladies in the front office, all of them.
And you're actually looking at video right now that a local State Farm insurance agent posted on his page of Officer Martin at this year's National Night Out. There he's signing an autograph for a young fan. Like we said, he was a very young new officer to Urbandale's force, graduating from the Iowa Law Enforcement Academy in December. He graduated from Simpson earlier that year in May. It was this year on January 20th when he was officially sworn in on the Urbandale Police Force. Lots of parents out here telling us today that they can't help but think if it were their child, how they'd feel as they come out here today to pay their respects along with everyone else. Guys.
All right, Reed Chandler reporting live for us tonight. Janae Town as well. Thank you both. Because of the shootings, a church in Urbandale is canceling all of its regular Wednesday night services.
Regular services, but instead they've come up with a plan to just keep their doors open for people who want to figure out what they feel about this, to come in to talk, to pray. Channel 13's Mike DeSilva joins us live from outside of Creekside Church right there near the police department in Urbandale. Mike.
That's right. The pastor Nick Reed says he wanted to follow in the tradition of Jesus, and Jesus would be with people. He said here at the church they just wanted to be with people and sit with people during this difficult time of mourning and tragedy. Now, we also spoke with a local business owner who's doing what she can to show her support for the police department, and she wants to make sure that the community joins in on that effort. Now, Kathleen Reeson of Farrell's Martial Arts and Fitness and Extreme Body Shaping is showing her support of the cops by tying blue ribbons on trees, light poles, and all around her businesses. Reeson, who's an Urbandale resident, says the killings really hit home for her. Now, she owns 3 franchises in Beaverdale, Waukee, and West Des Moines. All of those locations, as well as the Farrells in Urbandale, are giving away blue ribbons for free so that other business owners and community members can also show their support for the cops. The goal, to blanket the community with blue. Reeson has 3 young children and says having the conversation with her kids this morning about what happened to the officers paralyzed her as a parent.
I told him that a bad guy shot and killed a police officer, 2 police officers, and that wasn't acceptable. And I didn't think he got it at first. He said, well, can I go play a game? And then my 5-year-old got up and he said, hey, did you know that a villain shot a police officer and then shot another one? And so they were able to have that conversation.
Folks are also showing their support with blue light bulbs, putting blue on their cars, and so lots of different ways to show support and signs. Doors are open until 8 o'clock tonight if you want to come by and pray. Dan, back to you.
Channel 13's Mike DeSilva reporting live from Creekside Church in Urbandale. Of course, tragedies like this, part of what makes them so difficult is that they're so unexpected.
A huge shock, but the suspects' friends say they really cannot believe this news. Hear from them after the break. But first, we leave you with some fond memories of the 2 fallen officers.
He goes by Tony, and he's been with us since 2005. He had some prior service at another local police department prior to that. He was promoted last year. He's a great guy in this department, a good friend to a lot of us, a fantastic family man. It's just really hard to lose Tony.
We hired him August 10th of 2015. He started his academy shortly after there, graduating last December from the academy. He spent the next 4 months going through field training with us, and this summer he was put into a one-man probationary unit. At the end of this summer, on August 22nd, we released him from probation and turned him into a one-man unit with full civil service rights to the city. We had high expectations of his future, and it's tragically been cut very short here.